this stage of things, there are a few things that I want to do. I want to go through the list of rooms and see what we haven't built yet, because at first glance we can see that we haven't built a library, or a chapel, or a shop, or a mailroom, or a gym, as well as some other things. I want to fix that. I want to start getting more things in here for my inmates to do, because hopefully it will calm them down a little bit. I also want to start looking at more programs, both for my prisoners and my staff. For example, guard taser certification would be kind of great. So we're going to go ahead and start researching tasers, because I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Also, what is a CCTV improvement? Improve your utilization of CCTV equipment, enables you to see CCTV vision cones and misbehaving prisoners in their field of view. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's totally fine. My main thing, though, is tasers and taser rollout. So allows your armed guards to carry tasers, a potent single-shot weapon that will render most targets unconscious. Can only be fired once before they need a full hour to recharge. Armed guards must visit the armory to get the equipment. And then the taser rollout extends it so my regular guards can also carry tasers. Body armor as well. It's probably not a bad idea. It'll help absorb some damage, so we'll go ahead and get that on there. And you know what? We'll also do staff vetting, just to make sure that my guards are all, decent and not, peddling drugs to the prisoners. That would be the last thing that we want to do. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully that's going to help to deal with prisoners a little bit better. We're not going to have to fight them, we're just going to have to tase them, and that should, I would imagine, make fights a little bit less deadly. Now, I also want to look at my fields up here, because I want to go into policy, and I actually want to say that my crops are all going to be natural crops, and I want to get them with compost fertilizer. In fact, you know what? Let's just do high-quality fertilizer as much as we possibly can. And we're also going to search farms every day, just to make sure that there's nothing crazy going on there. And I also want to just check logistics to make sure that is set up, which it absolutely is. So, long story short, I want to build more things, and I want to have my guards be better. That's essentially it. That's my focus right now, is expanding this prison. So I want to go into planning mode, and I want to figure out exactly what we're going to build. And to be honest, the way I see it is we go 47 by, let's say, 47. And then I think we go in here and we get a 41 by 44 on this one. And that gives us a nice corridor that can go around a new area. And then right down the middle, we want to put a corridor there as well. And we're going to just split those bits of planning out of there. We'll take those bits of planning out as well, and this one as well. And what we can do is just put a bunch of rooms in here. So looking at it, we need a library. We need rooms for parole hearings, which honestly should be towards the front of the prison, so they won't go in here. A mail room is gonna need a few things. A shop is gonna let prisoners spend their money. A gym is going to let them exercise and release pent-up aggression. And it's also where we can put, I think, actually, isn't there a fight club room? Yeah, there's a fight club room. So, yeah, for all intents and purposes, this room doesn't exist. Long story short, there's a lot of stuff we can do to hopefully get the prisoners to chill out a little bit. And that's kind of my goal. So let's see how big this is. That is going to be 42. So 21 and 21 would be the midpoints. I guess let's go for 15 there. Let's go for 15 there. And what we'll do is something a bit like this. And that'll kind of give us a relatively even space. I'm going to divide this middle section a little bit. And essentially this is 14. So this is what? This is a 16 by 19 space. So long story short, we do this. And we do this, and this little guy is going to be 14 by 10. So it's essentially going to be symmetrical. Something a bit like that. We can use, these spaces for shops and mail rooms and stuff like that. We can have a nice big chapel, a nice big gym, maybe a fight club back here. It doesn't really matter too much what it is. I just want these things to help the prisoners to not be so aggressive and generally miserable. I'm also going to do doors essentially like this. I'm just going to have the doors be, oh, for God's sake, someone else is dead. I'm going to have the doors just essentially staggered like this so people can go through the rooms if they really want to. I don't necessarily want them to do that. It's not that I do want them to go through these rooms, but it means if someone from this cell block wants to go into this room, they don't have to go up to the middle. It means the same from this side, you know, they can go wherever is most convenient for them. So we'll do this kind of layout. It also means that it's easier to copy and paste if I really want to do that. So we'll see. That's essentially what the layout's going to be though. And I think this is probably fine. So now we just need to build it. And I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to start by going in and saying dismantle objects. And I want to just get rid of all the trees in that space, which is going to give me a fair chunk of money. But that fair chunk of money is actually going to be really good for, you know, building this. And I'm going to prioritize that. I want my workers to, you know, focus on getting rid of all those trees first and then on building the thing. And you know what? Let's also bring some numbers back up here. Let's go for another gardener. Let's go for another 2 janitors. Let's go for another armed guard. Let's go to 40 guards. That seems safe. And I'm going to go up to 25 workmen, just simply because, frankly, this is going to take a while to build. Oh, wow. It turns out there's a lot of money available in in selling all those trees. We're at $79,000. Good Lord. Okay. Let's get these foundations in here and see how much that's going to cost. So $28,500 to do all of this. And we got a tunnel search going, which is great. Hopefully we find nothing. What does the warden want? Warden, hello. Oh, wait a minute. What just... Subsidence of the land has destroyed a section of the outer wall. You should have it repaired immediately. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh boy. Let's get that fixed quickly, please. Because that is... We're actually going to have to... we're going to have to send all willing prisoners back to their cells. We can't actually have prisoners out and about right now because what's going to happen... And they're not going to be able to eat this morning until that wall is fixed. And I don't see that happening anytime soon because my workers are prioritizing the trees. So this is bad. That's actually really bad. We're also rolling out body armor for my guards, which is actually very good news. Look at this. That's a ridiculous amount of money, but my guards are going to be a lot stronger. So that's, as ridiculous as it is, it's very good for us. Very, very good for us. You know, just as I say that, this guy just killed 2 guards. I actually can't believe this has just happened. Like, straight up, as soon as I said that and stopped talking, I get 2 dead guards. Let's end the bang up that's going on. And what's this guy doing? He's fighting another prisoner. Do we have guards available to deal with this? There we go. Wait, who just died? Another guard was killed. Why is this guy not... What the hell is going on? Oh, he has a shotgun. He has a shotgun. That man has a shotgun. Oh no. All right, hold on a minute. 2 more guards and 1 more armed guard. I'm gonna allow free fire for a second here. I'm gonna say you need to go there. Is what you need to do. We're gonna have to start shooting people because this is getting a little ridiculous right now. There we go. All right. So that could have went better. That could have went a lot better. We also have something going on down here. Are you serious? I mean, I understand why the prisoners are upset. They were locked in their cells for, you know, ever. So it does make sense. Also, this isn't part of the foundation anymore, is it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. So how do I rebuild this? Is that what I gotta do? I actually don't really know what I gotta do with this. I'm kind of hoping that little bit of foundation there is gonna patch up those 2 bits of floor that I have missing apparently. But I genuinely don't know. Oh, there we go. Oh my God, the wall's gone again. The wall's gone again. Oh no. Oh no. This needs to not happen right now. I need the walls. So if the game wouldn't mind just putting all of those back, that'd be kind of great. Because we're going to have prisoners wanting to make a break for it. And honestly, I can't blame them. Because, you know, there's a hole in the wall. It's kind of that simple. So if my guards would hurry up, that'd be great. That'd be just great. There we go. We got some wall going in now. All right. Not too bad. That's been sorted. So that's been sorted. Now we just have to build all of this. So while all of that's going on, we should probably come over to programs and start looking into the guard taser certification, which apparently I can't roll out because I didn't research taser rollout. So never mind. We would be doing that. We're just not. I'm also thinking snipers. I'm getting very, very tempted by guard towers and snipers. Just simply because I'm getting to that point with the prison. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? A couple of snipers in the yards might really stop them from misbehaving. Just any time someone gets a little bit uppity, just a little red laser dot appears on their, right in the middle of their chest, and that's a little reminder. It's like, hey, you settle down there, fella. If you know what's good for you. That's just that over the loudspeaker, right? Just every time someone's a bit uppity, just over the loudspeaker, it's just, hey, you settle down there, fella, if you know what's good for you. I think that would send a message, to be quite frank. What might also send a message is doing something I've talked about before, which is splitting up the gangs a bit more. A lot of what's going on is either gang-on-gang violence, or it's gangs versus ex-gang members. They're not attacking their own people. So what I'm thinking we do is we maybe try and look into getting, I mean, if we have a quick look here at intelligence, at gangs, we have one member of this gang right here. Right, we have 7 of this one, we have 5 of this one. And it's these guys, it's the Vipers that are mostly dealing in narcotics. And that's an important thing to keep in mind. It's mostly the Vipers. It's the Bone Breakers that are destructive and violent, and it's the Jackals that actually want control of the prison. So it's interesting to note all of that. I guess I'm just wondering, wait, what's going on here? Ooh, a bit more of a fight going on. All right. I don't know what the reason is that they get uppity in here. I'm trying to figure that out. What I'm wondering though is if maybe we should go in and split them up further and say that there's a canteen for the Vipers, a canteen for the Bone Breakers, a canteen for the Jackals, and maybe that way we keep them apart and stop them from wanting to absolutely murder each other. That might do it. That might solve the issues. What I'm thinking probably won't solve the issues is what I want to do next, which is, I want to go into objects, and I want to go to, I want to dismantle some objects. In fact, I don't want to do this, because I need this to be built first, and I prioritized it. But what I want to do is I want to replace these 10 beds with bunk beds, so we can bring in a bunch more prisoners. And I want to do the same up here as well. I want to bring in more prisoners, just simply because I want to. It's that simple. It's just because I want to. I want to see if we can get up to 100 prisoners in here, and I want to see how much chaos there's going to be. Because I am at the point of being willing to embrace the chaos that is going on with this place. So I'm curious to see what happens. I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm curious to see how awful it would be. And I'm also curious to see if we maybe want to turn one of these rooms into another canteen or 2. It might not be a bad idea to say that these 2 cell blocks actually feed into this canteen and these 2 into that canteen. So at the very least, while we don't have a canteen per gang or lack thereof, we have fewer gangs in the one canteen that we have. We could look at doing the same with common rooms. Or we could go further and say, you know, gang 1, gang 2, gang 3, gang 4. If we look at planning, you can see there's 4 rooms right there. Then we do a chapel, we do a fight club, or we do a gym. You know, we can expand this further. We can go up here and do a library. We can go down here and do a library. It doesn't really matter where. I just think we might want to look into all of that, really. That's kind of where I'm at. I've also realized that I've actually made these rooms kind of weird. Is what I've done. I've made these rooms kind of weird. So I want to go into my planning real quick, and I want to change something about them. I want to do this. So there's going to be a door there that kind of comes around. And I'm going to do the same up here as well. Which unfortunately means that, well, hold on a minute. We're going to have to change the way these doors are done. Let me just put these walls back in, and I think we will go for a hint of symmetry with all of this. Because what I'm also thinking is, that's 2. We want 2 right there. Actually, I don't know how that one's going to work necessarily. Long story short, I want the doorway for this place to be here, not in the cell block. So I did slightly mess that up, but I think we'll be all right. What I can do is plan for a door there and plan for a door there. And for this bit, let's just do maybe 2 single doors. Or we could just open it up, but, well, we'll do 2 single doors. We'll do 2 single doors right there with a wall in the middle. And that will help to split things up a little bit, I guess. Not really 100% sure, I'm going to be honest. I think this needs to sort of be taken back a bit. Right, so that comes in. There should be a wall there. So that's kind of how that would work, right? We don't necessarily want that to be a room, but I do think we need to do the cutaway on these bits to kind of keep the symmetry going. So we'll do that. Gives us some weird shaped rooms, but that's okay. And then in terms of entrances, we just go to walls and doors. We'll grab ourselves a large jail door. And we'll put it, let's see, right there. And we'll go right there. And in terms of normal jail doors, we will go here, and we will go here. And we'll do the same down at this end as well, with a couple of jail doors right there. And if I prioritize all of that, we should see that entire space actually be built. Which is good. That's kind of what we need. And then I can start putting stuff in there, because I have so much money to spend that, honestly, I don't really know what to do with it all. And there we go. We have the rooms all done. We have the doors in there. We have some flooring going in as well. The only thing is we can't actually go ahead and put power into this space yet because my power plant is about to be overloaded. So what I'm thinking we can do is come up this way and essentially build another power plant room. Right, so if I come down here, this thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 by 5. Oh, of course, they're fighting in the bloody canteen again. It's 5 by 5. So if I go into planning and I go to objects and I say I want a 5 by 5 thing right there. In terms of walls, all I need is something like that. And honestly, that's fine by me. I think that's okay. So I'm going to slap a little concrete building right about there. And I'm going to prioritize that because I need it so that I can sort out power. Because what I think I'll do is I'm just going to cut power right down the middle. And I'm basically going to say that this plant down here will power the lower half of the prison. This one up here will power the top half of the prison. And I would imagine that'll be perfect. And there we go. The room is done. So let's go ahead and grab a power station and slap it there. Let's go ahead and just put a bunch of capacitors around this thing as soon as possible. And then all I'm going to need to do really is disconnect straight down the middle of the prison. So if I go to dismantle utilities and I say cut, let's see. Let's cut this guy. Let's cut this guy. And then we come over and we do, let's see. If we stay in line, let's cut this one and this one. And in theory, that should separate the entire upper half of the prison from the power grid. And then if we surround this guy with capacitors, it really shouldn't be a big job to, there we go. So now, yeah, the entire upper part of the prison has been disconnected. Prioritize capacitors, and then we'll just throw an electrical cable right there, and that should get the entire upper half of the prison powered again. In theory, of course, but I think it's a good theory. I reckon it's a good theory. So let's get all of those in there. And now let's prioritize the cable. And let's just see if it works. That's kind of what I'm hoping, is that this will actually work out, and it did. These guys are now both running at about 50% capacity, so that's kind of perfect. So what we'll do is we'll keep things nice and simple, and I'm going to run a cable down here. I'm going to run a cable down here. And we can run that cable around all of these rooms and down a little bit like this. We can do the same on this side. Maybe get rid of that bit and just make sure it's nice and neat and against all of the walls. And that should give us 2 separate power grids for this entire new area, which we can go ahead and prioritize. And while that's going on, I want to put some lights in here. So I want a light right there, and I want a light right there. We just had a couple of overdoses at the same time. Let's, you know what? Let's do a quick narcotics search of all sectors, and let's just focus on the lights again. So we'll put lights in front of all of the doors. We'll go ahead and put lights, I guess, there and there as well. We'll put one right about there too. And that should give us a decent bit of light down that center corridor. We can go ahead and put some lights. We don't actually need to double up the lights at all, so I'm just not going to do that. We'll put them sort of against the wall like that. And also bring this, this cable back down here. So lights in front of all the doors. We'll go for the same down on this side as well. And again, I think what we'll do is sort of dot them around a little bit just to brighten the place up that little bit more. So there and there. As for the rooms, I'm not really too worried about those. I think we can get lights into the rooms once we figure out what the rooms are going to be. But we'll see what happens on that. So at this stage, I think what we're going to do... Oh my god, we just had another death in the canteen. All right. I think what we're going to do is, plain and simple, we're going to go in here and we're going to get a couple of different rooms. So, I think a gym is going to be a pretty good bet. So, I want to say we're going to have one here, and I want to put another one here. I also want to get some shops going. So, I'm going to say a shop right there. I'm going to say a shop right there. I don't know if people are going to be able to work in these or whatever's going to happen, but I'm going to split things a little bit just to try and reduce the amount of overlap we have for everything. There is still going to be overlap. That is still very much going to be a thing. And it's something that I can't really do too much about without completely redesigning the prison, which one day we might. One day there is a chance I will just tear this thing apart and rebuild it, because obviously I can essentially get infinite money. All this green is just money. It's just true. That's all it is. But we'll see. What I'm also thinking we can do, though, is we can go and we can get a chapel in here. So this can be a chapel. This right here can also be a chapel. And then looking over this way, we could say it could be a library. We can say it could be a mail room. It could be a fight club. It can be anything. If anything, really, what might be a good idea is coming in here with these white walls and separating these again, because honestly, I don't think we need all that space for all those things. So we'll get those built, and what I'll do is, honestly, I think we do say that this right here can be a fight club, and this right here can also be a fight club. I think that's the way to go. And then maybe... I don't think we're going to need 2 mail rooms. I'll be honest. We probably only need 1. And we probably only need 1 shop as well. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that. And in terms of other things, I guess mail room there, library there. It's all different places prisoners can work. So, let's figure out what the floors are going to be. That's kind of my next step. And we have a good bit of money, so I think nice, lovely wooden floors in the chapels can be one step right here. Might be a little expensive, but that's okay. We'll do a nice laminate flooring, which is fire resistant for the library. And I think we'll do the same for the mailroom as well. Not that it needs to be fire resistant, but that's okay. The fight club, I'm thinking, is just going to have white tiles. Gonna be nothing too fancy in that one, because easier to mop the blood off of. And then the gym, I think... Well, I don't really know in the gym. We could go for... Well, we can't go for running track. We can't go for... Well, we could go for limestone, actually. We could go for concrete. We could go for carpet. What else have we got in here? We got fire-resistant carpet. That would be interesting. I'll tell you what, let's go for a nice carpet for the gym. That seems a bit weird. But we'll go for it. Fire-resistant carpet. And then for the inside of the shop, I mean... Maybe just some ceramic floor? I don't know, maybe limestone. Let's go for limestone. It's a bit different. A nice green floor for the shop. And that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money getting spent on all of that, but it's probably for the best. And this guy is apparently losing his mind. Oh, wait, no, I think is... He wants to be in the gym. A lot of them want to be in the gym. They just aren't currently. Fair enough. Now, one thing I think we will want to do is make sure that certain spaces are only for certain gangs. So we're going to want blue and red down here, I think is fair enough. And then jackals and ex-gang members up there. I don't think I can restrict the shop or the gym, unfortunately, but this is something at the very least. So we'll figure out how that goes at some point. I'm going to need some guards coming along here as well, though. So let's very quickly look into doing that. We have also got a guard down, so we'll fix that. But let's look at patrols and see what's going on. So during this time, essentially, is when we need these patrols. And what I'm going to do is a blue patrol there, a blue patrol there. It doesn't really matter if they're blue or magenta, to be quite honest, but we'll also go ahead and do something a bit like this that can kind of come around. And we'll do the same at this end as well. And essentially, we're just going to slap a bunch of guards on this. So we'll do, you know, 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there. And that'll probably be enough, but I think I'll go ahead and just put another couple on there, and that should keep us good. So we should have guards coming along and patrolling that area, which should make it easier for prisoners to get in and out of all those rooms. That's assuming we have enough guards, which I think we do. I'm just not certain. And now that most of the floors are in, let's go ahead and start looking at some of the objects that need to go in here as well. So for a chapel, we need an altar, pews, and prayer mats. So what I think I'll do for this thing is, I don't know what way around this thing has to go necessarily. I think we'll just go ahead and put an altar, say, here. And I think that's fair enough. So that is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from there. So I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's about even right there. And in terms of pews, I guess what we'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll leave a gap and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we can do the same on this side as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with a gap just like so. And for the prayer mats, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll sort of do the same down here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that should keep us pretty good. I think that's more than enough space for chapels. We can do some stuff with that shortly, and that should keep my prisoners happy, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Hopefully. There's some stuff we can do in there, I'm sure, but we'll see. In terms of a gym, it needs a weights, bench, and a gym mat. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, maybe not quite like that. 1, 2, and 1, 2. We'll do 4 right there, and we'll go and do the same over here. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then for weights benches, we'll go ahead and do 2 in the middle, and we'll do 2 in the middle here as well. And I guess we can sort of just stack a whole bunch of these in here. So we'll do 2 on the other side as well, and just see how things go. We don't need to go too crazy with the gyms themselves. Just enough in here that the prisoners have stuff to do. That's kind of my priority. So that'll be good for there. As for the fight club, actually, you know what? This treadmill is good for a gym as well. So let's do, these are expensive, man. These things are really expensive, but honestly, I think a couple of treadmills, like right in the middle of the space, kind of facing each other. They can run at each other. It might be a little silly looking. That actually would be hilarious. Just treadmills facing each other like that would be, really would be something. But we'll do something like that, and that'll be good. That'll improve the gym a little bit. And then a boxing ring can improve it as well, but we're not going to do that. I think what I want for the boxing rings is plain and simple. I want it in the fight club. So if your prisoners fight in the ring, they won't fight in the wing. Caters to the exercise and recreation needs. So this needs a fight ring, essentially. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to put it in that corner, and I'm going to put one in that corner as well. And then we can do chairs, I guess, if we really wanted to, which I kind of do want to. I think that'd be hilarious. Just a bunch of chairs like this, so you can sit and watch the fight. That is, that's kind of hilarious to me. I don't know if those will ever be used, but that is, that's funny to me. So we're absolutely doing that. We'll go 3 there and 3 right there, and that's perfect. So that's a couple of fight clubs. And we are starting to get a little bit broke. So I probably want to be careful on how much money I'm actually spending here. But at the very least, let's just bring some, some cables in a bit like this and see if that's going to help the power problems that we seem to be having. So down to here, and down to there. This guy's going to go to there, and to there. All right, prioritize everything in there. And we need to run power directly to the treadmills. Of course we do. Okay. Well, that's doable. So we'll get that sorted. We'll get that sorted as well. And then everything should be perfect, right? We've actually got someone in here working out. That's good. We've got some people down here working out as well. That's good. We don't have anyone in the fight rings currently, but I do think we need to, you know, set that up. So we'll see. Let's... Oh, wow. Guard taser certification. $100 per session. Good Lord. Okay. Let's start that. And let's edit the schedule. Let's do another one. Yeah, let's do guard taser certification right in there. We'll try and do them back to back so the guards can really get that through nice and quickly. As for prisoner programs, let's see what we got down here. So we have Fight Club, essentially. That's going to be a fun one. Let's start it, edit schedule, and where can I put Fight Club? And is it like a thing we should be doing? That's the other question. It's in there. So Fight Club, let's go for right there. The objects required cannot be found. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's do a Fight Club here and a Fight Club there. And those Fight Clubs should get up and running as soon as the fighting rings have been put in the rooms, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So there we go. So that one's unscheduled. We'll stop that. But we should, as soon as this thing goes in here, actually have Fight Clubs ready to go. And that'll be good. That's what we're looking for. Now, I also want to go for spiritual guidance. So we're going to start that up right there. We're going to edit that schedule and see what we can do because we do have a couple of chapels available. So we'll do spiritual guidance right there. And I'm going to do one later in the day as well. We can also do a faith program, which is going to be out of time. So faith program there and faith program there. So we can have them sort of overlapping in the chapels so that, you know, the two groups that can go to the various chapels can actually do things in the various chapels. As for parole hearings, we'll get to that. Alcoholics group therapy in a common room. That would be a good one. What does it need? It needs sofas. It's repeatable. I don't think that would be a bad idea. I've got to be honest. I also just heard a gunshot. I'm gonna go with the idea that I didn't actually just hear that gunshot. I absolutely did, but I'm just gonna ignore it for now. Common room, alcoholic group therapy. No teachers exist for this program. That's good. And we'll go for there as well. This is a lot of very expensive programs, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Who do we need for it? Who leads alcoholic group therapy? It is, so stop that one. Who leads this thing? A psychologist. So do we not have a psychologist? We have a psychiatrist and we have a psychologist. How do we not have someone available to run that? We do for this one. We don't for that one. So we'll just do one during the day and that should keep us good. Okay. So that seems fine. We have the chapels available. Those are going to get used. We don't have any guards currently coming near the chapel, which is a bit of a problem. So we'll let you guys in there. And that'll be all right. And you guys just decided to beat each other up instead of going to the gym. I think we need more guards. I'm going to be honest. I also don't have the money to get more guards, which is why I'm tearing down some trees down here. So let me just very quickly sell all of that. And let me just get more guards. Let's go to like, I don't know, 50 and see what happens. Hopefully that now means that we'll have guards patrolling all of this space so that we can actually keep the doors, you know, open when they need to be opened. I do want to put servos on there, but I'll get to that. That's not something I want to do right now. You know, it's just hit me that I had my scheduler set up completely wrong and that all of my guards were in the wrong places at certain times. Basically, when my prisoners were in the yard, the guards were somewhere else. When my prisoners had free time in the evening, the guards were somewhere else. I've just fixed that because I feel like an idiot. I can't believe I didn't notice that sooner, but that's hopefully going to help the, prison out just a little bit. And that's hopefully going to do good for us. I don't really know if it will, but we'll figure that out. Now, what I do want to do is I want to look at the mail room because it needs a sorting desk and it needs a table. So in terms of a sorting desk for the mail room, let's just go ahead and put one there. And I want to just get some tables, to be honest. I could do the oak tables. They look a little bit more interesting. A bit more expensive, but definitely kind of cooler looking. So we'll give it a bit of a shot. We'll do something like that. And you know what? We'll do something like this as well. Maybe a couple of small tables in the middle just to break it up a bit. And you know what? We'll do a couple of sorting desks. We'll do like sorting desk there and there. I don't know how many people can work in a mailroom, but we'll see what happens. In terms of the library, what do we need here? We need a library shelf and a sorting desk. So let's go for a sorting desk right here. And let's go for a sorting desk right there. And we can do, what have we got? Library shelf. So these things are pretty good size, honestly, the library shelves. We can do a couple right there. And we'll dot them a bit like this just to, I don't know, give the library a whole bunch of books, I guess. In fact, we can sort of spread them out slightly differently. And do a little double one right there. And that seems all right. I kind of like that. Nothing too crazy. Seems like a good size for a library. And then for the shop, what do we need for that? We need a table, a shop shelf, and adjacent to it, we need a shop front. Interesting. So if I go to rooms and I search for shop, so shop front. Hold on a minute. Search for item shop. So shop front. Oh, so the shop front can be right there. So the shop doesn't need to be all that big, does it? It doesn't need to be all that big at all. Interesting. What if I did like 2 shop fronts right there, or maybe 3 of them? I could do 4, actually. It'll give us a good size. Then we need tables, so we can do, I guess, a table there and there. We'll do a table there and there. And then what do we need? We need shop shelves. So shop shelves are these things. And I guess what we'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll go 1 and 2. We'll do something like that. I will do the same thing on this side as well. We'll just see if that actually works. This might be excessive. I'll be honest. I've almost never built shops in Prison Architect. I don't remember the last time I did this. So I'm actually curious to see how that all goes. But that is going to be all of the rooms sorted. So let's actually go ahead and let's prioritize that, so we can see how it all comes together. Also, apparently there might be a tunnel. Let's do a tunnel search. Let's very quickly search all sectors and see if we can't perhaps find some tunnels. Because there was a flag out there for what could have been one. And it seems that there isn't anything, so it was a false flag. That's all right. Not really too worried about that. As long as it's not an actual tunnel, I'm not actually all that concerned. Now, logistics. Let's see. We have max jobs 9 in the mailroom, so we'll go ahead and max that out. We can do 9 in the library as well. We'll do 8 in the shops as well. And that should be pretty good. Every single prisoner is qualified to work in these places, and what this now does is it means that I can justify, because we have so many jobs available, I can justify going into objects and going to dismantle object, and I can dismantle those beds. And honestly, I'm going to do the same up here as well, because I think it's going to be kind of great. So all of those are going away. The prisoners are not happy about it in the slightest, although they are getting tased, which seems to be dealing with them a bit quicker than we had been previously, so that's good. Although a lot of prisoners are a bit unhappy. We also found a bunch of keys and some batons and drugs and clubs and stuff like that. So the prisoners are unhappy, but I don't know that I care. I've got to be honest with you. I don't know that I care that they're unhappy. All I care about is that I have no money. So let me fix that real quick. There we go. So crisis averted there. Oh, and the beds are gone too. Oh boy. All right, so we're losing cells. That's kind of the point though, so that's okay. I'm not super stressed about losing the losing out on cells right there. We can sell the beds that we don't need. We don't have much stuff in storage, so we're not selling too much there. But what we can do is go to bed and we can get a bunk bed. These things are 500 each, which is actually a little bit concerning, I'll be honest. But we'll deal with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll get us some prisoners in here. And we just need to keep getting money, essentially, and we'll be all right. I think the fact that we bought so much stuff for the shops might have caused some problems. And then with the last bunk bed installed and the rooms converted into dormitories, we can now go ahead and bring in another 20 prisoners, which is exactly what I want to do. So let's go to 80 prisoners. We'll have 20 coming in tomorrow. I can move my intake time if I really want to, so that they come in sooner than later, I think. Not actually 100% sure if we can bring prisoners in anytime soon. It's possible. We could bring them in. We can bring them at 3 in the morning. That seems like a terrible idea, but to be fair, most of my guards aren't going to be doing anything at 3 in the morning, so we'll actually go for that, because it might be a bit of a big brain strategy to bring them in the middle of the night. Might be. There's a good chance it isn't. I will say that. There's a very good chance it is not, in fact, a big brain strategy, but there's also a chance that it is. So I'm willing to take that chance, essentially, is what I'm willing to do. Now, it looks like we got some guys coming over to the gym for free time, which is whatever. They're now heading back to their cells. We really probably do want to get servos on a lot more of these doors. I think what I'll do, actually, is I'll come in here and I'm going to get myself another door control system. And I want to slap it right there. And while that's going on, I want to just put servos on all of these doors. So there, and there. We can do servos here as well. We can go for this bit as well. And this is actually going to be a lot of doors. This is actually a ridiculous number of doors that we're putting these things on. But at the very least, it will hopefully mean that people can get in and out of these spaces without too much hassle, which is sort of what we're going for. So let's prioritize all of that work. And if I could get a bit more money, that would be kind of great. I think we are loading something onto a truck down there, so I assume I've got some export money coming in shortly. There it is. So a servo there, and there as well. And let's just prioritize all of that, please. So we also, now that I realize, need to connect this guy to power. So we'll run a cable out. And then the servos as well, I think will be fine. I think all of the servos will actually be connected to power, and I believe they already are. So let's go ahead and get the last handful of servos in here. We've got all the prisoners coming in as well, which is kind of nuts, all 20 of them. So we have enough guards available. We should be able to search everybody and move them to wherever they're going, into their dormitories and all that. And my workmen are hopefully, like I said, going to get the last of these servos in here. And just like that, we have all of the servos in. They are all connected, so now everybody can get to where they need to go in this new area. Which hopefully means that my prisoners will be a little bit happier, because now they just have more stuff to do. And that's the goal. That's the hope. Although a really good number of them have got stuck at this door, which, I mean, they're not anymore. The guard managed to let them in, but not 100% sure why the servo isn't being run. I guess there was probably no one in the, no one in the security room to run it right now. That will definitely do it. That will definitely do it. Let's let them out of the gym there. We've got a couple of guys kind of hanging in that one as well. So hopefully, for the most part, they can at least sort of get in and around this space. And hopefully the shop actually ends up getting used as well. It doesn't really look like too many prisoners are actively wanting to work in these spaces. And let's also ignore the fact that there's been 7 deaths today. I'll be honest, today has been relatively calm. I'm not actually sure why. I mean, honestly, the prisoners are probably most annoyed that they keep getting searched, right? I would imagine that's probably not helping, that every single day there's cats coming around, there's guards coming around. It is maybe a little bit excessive. I'd say excessive, but to be fair, it's a prison. I'd say killing people is a bit excessive. Oh, what does the warden want? I've just received word that the prisoners are unhappy with how much time they have to work during the day and are planning to cause trouble if it isn't reduced. A guard overheard someone say that if they had to work for more than 2 hours, they're going to tear this place apart. Well, I've got news for you. You're gonna be working more than 2 hours, fellas. So, do your worst, I guess. Well, I probably shouldn't say. Let's bring the riot police in. Let's bring the riot police in just ahead of time. That seems like a great idea. Let's, you know what, I'm gonna grab all of you. I'm actually just gonna grab all of you and, go put you in that corner. And I'll grab all of you and I'll put you in, I don't know, I'll put you in that space right there. So we'll just put the riot cops into the canteen there and see what the prisoners have to say about that. Because, to be quite frank, like I said, good luck to them. It's that simple. Good luck to them. Let's put the riot cops in the yard now and see what the prisoners have to say about that one. Because if they try anything there, it's not going to go well for them either. Just like that. That didn't really work out too well for them at all. And now it's working free time. So what we'll do is we'll put some riot cops in that space. And I guess we'll put some riot cops sort of up this way. And we'll just see what happens. We'll just kind of watch and see what they think about having to work more than 2 hours. Like I said, ain't gonna go well for them. It's it's that simple. Good luck. Well, wouldn't you know that my prisoners were all bark and no bite? Well, aside from the person that just died. Other than that person dying, they were all bark and no bite. They didn't seem to do anything at all for working more than 2 hours today, so I'd say we're fine. I'd say we're doing pretty good. I think the only place that we're struggling right now is the fact that we're not feeding as many of the prisoners as we really need to be. So I think we probably want to work towards getting a bigger canteen. And in all honesty, I kind of like the idea of having a canteen per block. There's still going to be overlap. There very much is still going to be overlap in, you know, who goes where. But my thinking for this thing would be kind of simple in that if I go and I do something like this. Oh, why am I getting... What do you want? What do you want? Gangs are marking their territory. Hold on. Gangs are marking their territory, making them fiercer when defending it. See a janitor when it's safe to deal with a mess. The gangs won't be happy about the art being removed. They might retaliate. What? What? Oh god, there's shotgun shells right there. What do you mean? What do you mean gangs are marking their where? I don't really care if they're marking their territory. I'm gonna be honest. Let them. You know, just kind of let them try. Let them, you know, good luck to them. But anyway, what I want to do is essentially this, right? And then we go in and we say that this central section is like a big old kitchen. So this is a canteen, that's a canteen. And then we kind of do the same thing down here. So we go and do this, and then we go and do this, and we kind of break this a little bit in the middle there. So that's a kitchen, canteen, canteen. And the reason I have this wall at the back is because what I would do is I'd probably put a door there and a door there. And then the kitchen itself would probably have like a little double door at the back with a door here and here. So this would be the kitchen for this cell block here. This would be for the one on the right. So these guys can go straight through into the kitchen, or the canteen, sorry. These guys can probably go wherever, but they can walk around a little bit better. So I think that's kind of the way I would do it, so that they all have their own spaces and whatnot. And I think that would probably be a pretty good setup, I would imagine. I don't know if we'd want to put doors on both sides of all of this. I do kind of like the idea of the staff door for the kitchens being at the back there as well. So I think that's probably what we'll do. we'll get some canteens in there, we'll get some kitchens in there, we'll get more cooks, and we'll hopefully be able to feed everybody and also feed them in a way that is a bit safer, which then gives me this space, which honestly, I might turn this into like a parole room and stuff like that as well, because it is a little bit closer to the front of the prison. It's not super close, but it's better than, you know, like over here. Or maybe I just build something down here. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but I think right now we need those canteens.